stop me. It's obvious, too sloppy, cheap copy. I'm Rocky, leave his eye. When I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Yeah. Turn me up. Yeah. Hey, check it. Okay, I feel unstoppable. Losing's impossible. Go against the...
It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports. And we'll be watching the dynamic Tyreek Hill.
Just a stone's throw away from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as we get set for football at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Tonight we start Week 5 with a primetime matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Browns in this matchup. Their offense is a unit that's not afraid to take chances out there, but not always for the better. What do you see them trying to do here?
I think they'll continue to take those chances, Brandon, but to me, they have to do it in a measured way. And what I mean by that, they can't just come into a game and throw caution to the wind and just say we're going to run a bunch of gadget plays, a lot of reverses, end arounds, all of those things. They've got to identify the spots where they want those plays to pay off, which means you have to set them up, and then when they present themselves, take full advantage.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. So here are the Dolphins now as they'll be backed up to start this first drive. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing one interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. 11 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
Anytime a team goes on the road, there's always that little bit of fear that maybe they could be affected by the hometown crowd. But this is where game planning really came into play. They talked about it all week. Go in there, establish yourselves. Well, that run right there, that slows down the crowd and gives them a lot of confidence.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Well, this defense for the Browns, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball, or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Returnable for Grant. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's caught by Ayuk on the slant. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. This looks like a roughing call.
As a quarterback, you got to be cautious. You got to understand where the pressure is going to come from. This time, it's a cornerback coming after him. And this time, the cornerback just a bit late getting to him. The penalty assessed.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. There he goes, right side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown.
So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. Second drive coming up here for Cleveland as they return to the field on offense.
As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
But ordinarily, I'd say it hurts them.
Now the ball comes loose. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. It's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
The Browns are the perfect 4-0 to start the campaign. They've been playing their best.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Now we'll run straight ahead with Edmonds. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
On second down, this is Edmonds. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. And that is incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try to hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Grant. He will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. But a nightmare of a first quarter for him. 2 interceptions, 1 return for a touchdown. As he starts again here, 1st and 10.
Ready up. And they'll begin by running the option. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Pretty good job there defensively of stringing that one out.
Yeah, you've got a quarterback who's waiting and waiting for something to develop. Down he went behind the line of scrimmage.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, that's the down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that will be incomplete as well.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. You have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The kick by Sanders is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead.
So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone.
And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. They'll start by running the option to the right. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Done well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
The numbers for Ayuk a week ago.
5 catches, 87 yards, and a touchdown.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. On play action, they'll throw. And that will be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
36 yards on the punt with no return, and it'll be Dolphin football. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Watson. And this one too low.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Back to throw, Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on third down.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Here comes Grant on the return. It'll be a 48-yard punt, 5 there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here.
The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They run it again with Chubb. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
And hold on here because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
On 1st and 10, Watson throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Throwing again, it's Watson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. To throw is Watson. And that's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. That's taken on the 25.
Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
The Browns drive about to...
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Let's go now.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down.
And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. After the interception, here's Watson.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Watson. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the 2nd quarter. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Watson. forced out to his left. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem scrambling for 22 and a first.
I am willing to bet that he got a monster grin on his face when he saw what was happening. Mancovers were so committed to denying a big throw that it pulled attention away from him, and he had an easy lane to hit, and hit it he did.
And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit.
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Here's Watson. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Now it's Watson. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time to have a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. When you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
From the 6. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Cleveland offense making their way out. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's 1 interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run the offense.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Up the middle, it's Chubb. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. They'll look to throw here. They set up the screen to Chubb. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves, that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Watch out for Hill on the return. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
On 1st down, Watson over the middle, and it's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down.
Fielded at the 33. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10. The Browns set to take over. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A solid gain of 7 yards that time on the keeper and a first down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And again, it's Chubb. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13. Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. They'll run on first down, Edmonds. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now whistles and a flag. And I believe a Dolphin got going a little early. Liam Eichenberg, 2nd-round pick in 2021 from Notre Dame, the guilty party. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Edmonds running out of the shotgun. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Watson now to throw. It's tipped, but it doesn't matter. He still catches it. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now a first down throw, Watson. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. On the handoff, it's Edmonds. And they'll get him down right about the 20. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Looking to throw. Watson rolling to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Myles Garrett with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins will add on to their lead. So able to add on to their first half lead here, Charles, forcing the miscue with a fumble and then turning that into 3 points.
Yeah, and more than happy to accept any mistakes the other side is willing to make. No problem. You turn it over, we'll take that, and we'll use it to expand our lead.
This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. They go up the middle with Chubb. And not much room there, so he'll get it up only to about the 21. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. A punt of 46, a return of 5.
Miami's offense set and ready to go.
There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent, and they try to consider what they would do to take things away and go to those plays right away. It'll be fun to watch when they get to the second half to see which way they go.
Yeah, but to this point, it certainly hasn't been broke. We'll see if they try to fix anything. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Watson. And now another one thrown incomplete. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Pulled in at the 24.
Well, on that punt, we've got a man shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
The Browns drive about to get started.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
Now Hill to return it.
A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Another carry now for Edmonds. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. Some good games to look forward to in the early window, especially the one in Baltimore. A big one coming up for the Ravens, as they'll take on the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Excellent games in the late afternoon window as well. One being out in Los Angeles, where it'll be the Rams taking on the Tennessee Titans. And then on Monday night, folks, you are in for a treat. They've got a good one lined up between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. With that, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for Miami in that first half. And despite the big lead, they really did next to nothing throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage. We'll see how aggressive they want to be going forward. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they too have found passing lanes to be hard to come by so far. As you see by the numbers, they'll need to figure that out in the second half. Final adjustments being made in the locker room. We're just about set for the second half from Cleveland. And to bring it your way, we go back up to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And that first half was nothing short of a disaster. 0 points on the scoreboard and a big 3 in the INT column.
So they've got to get it going, obviously, right? So you've got to get him in rhythm.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Jermaine Pratt fighting in and dropping him for the loss.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. He's able to get 4 back on the run, but now they'll have to find something here on 3rd and about 14.
They'll need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
And here he's got Graham. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. And right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
The Browns send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight.
And this returnable for Hill.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. So possession goes over here on the punt. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. It'll be Edmonds to begin the drive. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun, Watson. And his throw is going to be incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Out of the gun, Watson.
That's out to the flat for Edmonds.
And he showed a nice little juke, but then the window quickly closed. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to kick it away. And the Browns getting set to go.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw.
That's into the hands of Donovan Peoples-Jones.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. Here's a play fake as they set up the throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Christian Wilkins in there to drop him, and that is the 7th time tonight that he has gone down. They go with Chubb on 2nd down.
And he'll get about 3 up close to the 35.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it.
This is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here's Hill on the return. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going. And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Myles Garrett able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10.
The football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. And his throw here's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
Being chased out left. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Returnable for Grant. It's a 39-yard punt, 8 on the return. The Browns set and ready to go on offense.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll drop the throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And to the 46 he goes and no further. So he is well short of the 1st down marker. 3 yards all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. Watch out for Hill on the return. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphins shaking up on the play.
Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, are going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Watson on first down. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Myles Garrett in there to get him yet again. That is his third sack tonight. They can't figure him out. He's looking for another 4-sack game. That's how many he had last week. That's his third.
And when I watch him rush the passer, the thing that always comes to mind for me is how well he uses his hands. The martial arts stuff that a lot of guys do in the offseason to work on those, paying dividends for him. He's getting home in a big way.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Edmonds. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. It'll be a 41-yard punt. Give them 5 on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field.
Let's go now.
And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Okay, ready?
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They give the Chubb out of the gun. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Buying time, and he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down.
Now a give to Edmonds. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
90 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Edmonds will take this in for the Dolphin touchdown.
Offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we get to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that will bump the lead up to 26. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the 4th quarter. And a big deficit, Charles. But they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board. So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down.
And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
Well, that's something you haven't had to talk about much this game. A nice big play right there. But this team, overall, they haven't done a whole lot offensively.
Well, they're still sitting on the goose egg. We talk about defenses having pride in a shutout. This offense wants to get rid of that 0. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
That's complete to Peoples-Jones. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. They'll look to throw again. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Joejuan Williams. And the Dolphins will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
Boy, Charles, you hate to see this for a rookie quarterback. You're hoping it doesn't shake his confidence, but that confidence, it might be shaken because that is 4 interceptions for him now in this ballgame.
It has to be shaken. Wouldn't be human if you weren't. Doesn't matter whether you're a rookie or a veteran. 4 interceptions, you're not sure what you're doing out there. So to me as a coaching staff, I would think very hard about getting him out and trying it again another day.
And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center because, remember, he's got to snap the ball and put the play in motion. And sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
Second down and another run with Edmonds.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Again, they run with Edmonds. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And now the Browns coming out on the field.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They go play action here on 1st down. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Joejuan Williams. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Here's a give to Edmonds running to the right. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. That's Aguilar with it on the jet sweep. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. On 3rd down, they run with Edmonds. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on here to punt it away. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. He'll look to throw. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Now back to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Browns send out their punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. Fielded at the 33. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. And out come the Dolphins now. They're looking on. They'll start on the ground with Edmonds. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. 2nd down and another run with Edmonds. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 110 yards on the ground for Edmonds. He's got a 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. They'll run with Edmonds again. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Now a run straight ahead with Edmonds. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now Edmonds. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the 1st down, close it out.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
So they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Dolphins, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, it was a good first month, but they'll fall to 4-1 as they suffer their first loss. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams.